Ready to take a look at every single board game campaign this week? I don't care if you are. I know I am. And you know who else is? Artie is. Come here, buddy. Welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown on the Road. We're trying out a new camera, and we're going to do the setup as the setup goes. So let's get into it. Oh, you're adorable, aren't you? Aren't you adorable? Yes, you are. And to be clear, I was saying that to myself and not to Artie. I was saying that directly at a picture of myself that I have just over here. That's how I pump myself up for these crowdfunding countdowns, and I hope that you accept that part of me, okay? Thanks for being here. Thanks as always to all my patrons. No new patrons this week. If you want to support the Room and Board Patreon and throw me a couple bucks a month, you can. If you don't want to, well, just gently graze the like button. That always helps get this out to more people so I can make the pennies on YouTube advertising that I do. Artie's nestled in. I hope you get nestled in as well. And let's get into it. First things first. From Earth to the Moon, Jules Verne novel Print and Play. This flip and write board game for 1 to 6 players represents the essence of the novel. Build the big cannon, place bets, and engage in duels. I know you want me to cut all the print and plays, but look at all the stuff going on there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe it'll be interesting. I guess we'll see. We gotta take a look. So let's check it out. And this is why we check it out. You know the story. You could read the novel. We know you could do it. We all could read the novel. However, we want you to play the adventure game. Now play the adventure. Don't read, okay? We're not in the board gaming hobby to read rule books or all the rule... Oh, no. Yes, we are. Oh, shoot. Here's what's making me want to look into it as well as all the little tracks that you can cross out. It feels like it's kind of a Seven Wonders duel-style drafting of resources, which seems interesting. Don't think there's probably going to be a rule book here, though. But yeah, basically you're going to want to fill out this sheet. There are sort of 4 sections on the sheet, 3 or 4, that you have to fill out totally if you want to get all the bonus points. You're basically just trying to get the most points. Each little section has its own way to get points, and in true roll and write fashion, as you move through the game and move through the track, sometimes you'll get good things when you cross things out, and sometimes you're just progressing towards getting points. All right, fine, it doesn't seem that innovative. I thought it might be. I got excited, but it isn't. Are you happy now? Hey, the pick for me was a print and play last time, so I thought this one could be cool. I think it can be. It's only $4, so if you like print and plays, check it out. That's Wednesday, October 11th at 9:41 a.m. Moving along to something truly worthwhile being on Kickstarter. This is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Bath Towel, aka Hot Tub Hotties. And I just hate that it's raised like almost 5 times. Well, 3, almost 4 times as much. It's just so stupid. The amount of money that, like, you just put a naked figure on Kickstarter, and people are like, yeah, I want to paint my pornography. Oh, you make money. So I mean, hey, it's a good business if you can get it. But yeah, I put this in here because I hated it, and I wanted you all to hate it as well. What the campaign doesn't tell you is how many saunas that bath towel had to go through before he found the one with anime characters. I can tell you the bath towel at Sweaty Gym Bros R Us did not have as delightful a time. Let's move along to Kakomu. Plant your flowers and harvest precious gems buried in the garden. This is going to be an abstract game, and let's see if it's horrible or not. Oh, 76 backers. That's raised $6,000. I can already tell you this is horrible. You know what? I think we're skipping it. We're skipping it. Look at me skipping things. Let's do the calculator test, though. 6,663 divided by 76. 87.67 on average a backer has spent. 87.67 Canadian. Okay. It's going to be like $50 each. Let's check it out. Canada plus 1,200 yen to get to Canada. So it'd be $36 to get to Canada after shipping for a mini version, which isn't bad for a little abstract game. It just depends if it's fun. So you're putting things down. You want to surround gems. It's kind of like Deus. You want to surround points in Deus, but this is just the whole crux of the game. You can choose where to put your gems. You go back and forth. You also have neutral things, so they stay on the board. I don't know why you would ever spend your neutral stuff, except to block a whole one and then drop your own down. That makes sense, because the neutral ones stay. So yeah, if you like surrounding things and getting gems and you want a like well-crafted if this is well crafted, who knows, really. It looks just fine to me. But 76 people are excited about it, so there you go. That finishes Wednesday, October 11th at 10 p.m. Moving along, we have Heart of Venice. I was going to say Heart Top Venice, but that's wrong. It's Heart of Venice, a strategical roll and write puzzle game about prosperity of Venice, brought to you by Journey Cat. And this is pretty simple. It's another one, I think, that's based out of Japan, where you can download a print and play for $10. That's not that good. But you can get a complete game for $17 US, 24 Canadian, the same as that one that we just looked at. And let's see if shipping is included. Yeah, shipping is, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. In the drop down, sometimes OBS doesn't share that window. Anyway, shipping to anywhere like the United States is 1,000 yen. And it seems pretty simple. You're building waterways, from what I can gather. When you roll, you use your dice to either build houses or to build waterways, and when the water cascades down, it then goes along the waterways like a pipe maze-style game. You know, pipe maze. Pipe maze! Which is, yeah, one of the best Mario Party mini games. Oh, which you just missed. You do it again. You're Luigi. Ready? Go. Oh, that's not going to Luigi. The third one was to Luigi. It's going to maybe Yoshi. Oh, it's going to Mario. It's going to Mario. Well, if you were Mario, congratulations. If you were Luigi, you're second fiddle once again. Anyway, that's why I kind of like it, because I like that. Well, I like that Mario Party game. Well, because I think I used to be very good at it. Well, you can't be very good at it. You can just be good at it. Like, I'm trying to blow my own horn here, toot my own sausage, as the saying goes, when really it's just, you just watch it quickly. It's like, I'm really good at shell game. No, you're just good enough to win. Right? There's no really good, because there's no ceiling to that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Complete a row to develop the port. I'll be honest. I thought I was going to be able to figure it out. I read halfway through and I was like, okay, I figured this out enough to be able to talk about it. And then I get to the second halfway and I don't know. I don't know how the scoring works. I know that you could adjust the sum of each column, bigger house, bigger dream, bonus for check crates, and be careful because surcharges could be scary, which anyone who's backed a Kickstarter knows very well. But I gotta tell you, I don't know how to do it. I think you get to score points into your boats, which will score you a bunch of points by doing the columns, and then you want to do the rows to get a trading and actions that you can use then to double up your points and stuff like that. So you're trying to balance out the two. That seems like it could be kind of interesting to me. I'm sorry. We're gonna have, I swear, there's going to be more insight and better, when there's actual rule books for me to read, then I'll be able to tell you. When there's not, this is what you get. And I think that's actually a good point. See how I'm just going to turn it into a point and pretend like I was going to make it the whole time? It is a good point because it really emphasizes the importance of reading a rule book and knowing the rules of the game wholeheartedly and knowing just like a sketch, right? I think that this game sounds fun, but I only know a sketch of it, and if my sketch doesn't actually equal what the game is actually about, it may not be that fun when you get it. And then you may have wasted your money and will sit on a shelf forever, and you just end up purging it for 50% of the price. So do your research. Don't get this one. But it finishes Thursday, October 12th. Let's move on to Christmas Mystery. I just picked on this because you have to investigate the mysteries of Santa Claus' secret village, and I'm just happy that somebody is exposing Santa's secret life. Mrs. Claus has been through a lot, okay? And she's made concessions to Santa. She's given him not only a secret mistress and a secret family, but an entire secret village that Santa can go and party in. It's hidden past the North Pole. There's like a snow globe style. It's Santa's secret village. And let me tell you, if you knew what went on in Santa's secret village, Santa should be delivering a lump of coal to himself every night, if you know what I mean. And in fact, he does every night in his secret village, and I don't want to tell you what that coal is for. It's worse than whatever you're imagining. It is. Santa says, "Welcome, detectives. I'm getting in touch with you with an urgent mission this year. Christmas has lost its magic because someone has cast an evil spell on our village." No. The someone who cast an evil spell on the village is you, Santa. It's worse than the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. Any normal, sane person would be turned into a pillar of salt. It's not snow up there, it's pillars of salt. That was the story. Because of all the depravities. Oh no. Your task is to go to Xmas Village. Notice how it's not Christmas Village, it's Xmas Village. Yeah, X-rated. The town where I live, interrogate its residents, and find any clue that can clarify who caused the Christmas boycott. It won't be easy, though. You need to overcome many challenges that will test your wits. Only you can help me recover the magic of his town and bring back Christmas to the whole world. Yeah, he even calls it his town. Like, how gross is that? Santa, please. I'm Team Krampus, because what you're doing up there in Xmas Village, ugh. No wonder the Christmas spirit drains out of you when you see the depravities that are going on over there. But hey, you get a virtual mystery for $11. Or super early bird Christmas game for $16 Canadian. Yeah, you want to take a risk on it? Sure. You want to poke your little head into Santa's depraved workshop of sin? It only costs you €11. And that finishes Thursday, October 12th at 9:57 a.m. Let's move along. Ooh, to something that might be good. Rivals. At least it's got fun art. Rivals is a battle royale deck building board game for 2 to 6 players based on a futuristic universe. Let's check it out. Well, that told me nothing, but it did show me that there was a board, so that tells you something. Where's the rulebook tab on the side here? Rivals, you suck. At the dawn of 3229, humanity is all over the galaxy. Do you think that's going to happen as we scroll through to find the rulebook? I saw 3229, and I just thought, oh no, we're not going to be around then. You know, I used to think that we might be around by then, but I'm like, oh no, we will have destroyed the planet by then. It will be uninhabitable, and humanity will be extinct. Ooh, an arena made of 43 tiles, shrinking round after round until 1 hex remains. I like boards that shrink. That's fun. A great 2 players mode. All right. Try different a shack. Yeah, try different characters. And change your fighting methods. Seems like you're punching each other in the face a bunch, so I want to see how that works. The game of Rivals is divided into 3 eras made up of several rounds, each of which is divided into 2 turns. Woo! Which is, coincidentally, then divided into 6 breaths, 4 moments of AP, and 3 wild throwing of cards like Gambit. You have 2 action points to interact with the arena, doing exploration, movement, collection, deck building. Okay, or use their cards to attack, defend, or upgrade your skills. I like that. After their 2 turns, the round ends and the arena shrinks. Established strategies are disrupted, and adaptation becomes the key to victory. The game continues until 1 player is left alive, or 1 player has reached the 5 rival points required for victory. So I don't know if you really want to play with 6, because we'll see how quickly it goes, right? Is there an estimated time here? Because it would suck to get knocked out, and then, I think they said in the video. I don't know if they did. I don't think they did. Let's see if there's a rulebook. Yeah, I just want to know why you would be on certain wild techs, I guess. Certain things give you extra resources, depending where you are. Down to the rulebook. Yeah, okay. Quarter up the page. That's not bad. Pour la wild tech. Trigon tiles, long tiles, central tiles. Yeah. Okay, let's check out the actions that you can do. So you get 2 action points. This is /2 turns. I think it just means 2 action points, because exploring is free. You can move to those things, or you can collect. Here we go. Lakes don't provide any resources. You just can't go in them. Volcanoes, you can't go in them. The void, you can't go in them. However, the forest, you can collect resources. The crystal hexes, you can collect resources. Or you can consult the interface. The 2 visible cards or the 2 cards on top of the interface, place the chosen card in your hand, discard the others. This is how you get additional cards. You can trade with a sponsor. You earn 1 rival point. There you go. You spend an action point and 1 anticipation chit. Okay, how do you get an anticipation chit? When you go to the observatory, you spend 2 resources of your choice to earn 1 anticipation token. I bet it's the same thing. Oh, you can repeat this action until your anticipation gauge is free, which then maybe gives you an anticipation chit. Is that on page 17? I'd find this out. That's page 17. I'm not finding it out. But that's simple, right? You're collecting stuff to turn it into points, or you're punching each other. And the resources can do a bunch more stuff. You can get a shield. Yeah, all right. You can deconstruct your deck, or you can score a rival point. Spend 10 resources to score a rival points. This feels like a roundabout way of doing it, but you can do it as like your 5th one. All right. It's a race to 5 points. Probably more focused on the race to 5 points than punching each other in the face because of how wide this is. But then as it shrinks and you don't have the points and maybe people are around, you then will want to attack people. Okay, or play a card, use your ultimate. So playing a card is also an action. So it's not like there's going to be an all-out battle, which is what I was kind of expecting, that like your cards would be used as battle. No, the cards are actions that you can use, and some of them are offensive. And some of them are going to just be like upgrades and permanent upgrades that you can get. It seems kind of neat. I like how the things are going to bring everybody closer together. I like that there seem to be a lot of spots where you can get stuff. Feels like it might be a little slow, and especially depending upon the breakdown of the resources, it might just be like the early game might not be that interesting, but it seems okay. €50, 73 Canadian, and then plus shipping, which there is a tab for. Way to go. Core box, 12 to the US, 21 to Canada. So again, I'm looking at about $100 for this. Not interested for $100, but it doesn't seem like a horrible game. I think it could be interesting. So check that out if that seems exciting to you. That finishes Thursday, October 12th at 11:59 a.m. Moving along to Vagrantson Encore and Off the Rails expansions, two eerie and exhilarating expansions for the spooky boss battler Vagrantson. Actually, somebody in my Discord has been playtesting these and has been really enjoying them, and has also been feeling burnt out, which I get when you're like playtesting stuff and testing new things and playing it over and over again. But generally, I've heard nothing but really positive things about Vagrantson as this sort of campaign skirmishy game. It has acrylic standees. It has standees. It doesn't go for the minis route. And so let's see what this tells us about the expansions right now. What's a little sketch of the expansions? All right, so Vagrantson Encore, it just adds more scenarios, and then Off the Rails is giving you that sort of new refresh of the same experience with different events from the original game. I don't know. I haven't played Vagrantson, so I don't know how much I would be in demand for that sort of thing. I guess, but like if the game's designed to be replayable, then you can probably replay it already. And if it isn't, then I don't know. Then you're in it more for the story, right? So I don't know how much I would be like pulled in to try it again. But that's because there are so many campaign games out there, right? Oh, 20 plus new scenarios, including 6 Save Your Soul scenarios. That sounds a little bit more interesting to me. I thought it was just an extra 6, and I was like, yeah, that's probably not something I want. And then there's a little short trip mode, so one-shots, basically one-shots. So for the new content, it's 65. There doesn't look like there's a way of just getting one or the other, but there probably is. I mean, if you showed in 2 boxes, I assume. So Vagrantson Encore is 50. That makes sense because it seems like it has almost the same amount of content as Vagrantson. And then Off the Rails is $23. So if you're saving $8 if you're getting them together, but I don't know. Feels like I wouldn't be that interested in Off the Rails. If you have 20 scenarios and you have 20 more scenarios, how much more Vagrantson could you want? So I feel I would be more inclined for that. Vagrantson, if you haven't played it, $72 at a discounted price. I don't know if that actually is a discounted price or not. Let's check. Doesn't seem like it's that discounted because you can just get it for $80 Canadian at 401 Games. Although it is on sale right now. So normally it's 110. So yeah, about the same. After shipping, right? What's shipping like? Global shipping hubs. Yeah, post-campaign shipping like literally every other campaign does as well, or most of them. But you can still give us an estimate, which I hope you've done. Okay, good. So here's the range. Lower return trip, 12 to 21. New passengers, 15 to 26. Like, but here's the thing, right? Like, if you've heard good things about Vagrantson, just go out and get it. Order it from a store. Like, don't be ordering it from here because it's just going to come much later than you could be getting it. You don't need to get double your scenarios if you're not sure if the first one's really hit with you. So many scenario games, they just don't hit in a way that like makes them endlessly replayable or even like worth playing 20 times, right? I know all of you. You're all addicts sitting in your attic so that your significant others don't find out that you're Googling more games. You're serial game Googlers. And you don't need both at the same time if you haven't played the first one. And if you played the first one, you know if you want it. But check that out. I think it's, I've heard really good things about it. I think it's definitely for a specific audience. I think I'm tired of the boss battler genre. I don't even know if I like it that much, to be honest, for me personally. But check that out. 3,000 backers on the dot. That finishes Thursday, October 12th at 12:50 p.m. Let's move along to Flock Together, an asymmetric cooperative game. Gather your teammates and level up your characters to fight off the invading predators in this beautifully immersive game for 1 to 5 players. If you weren't interested in Perch, well, now you can flock right off and flock together, which is very similar to the newest Spicify expansion that's coming out, called Flocking Fabio. I don't know if this is a similar theme or not. I guess we're going to find out. I think it might be, because in that one, Fabio is dressed as a bird, and, well, in this one, it certainly looks like there are birds as well, so let's see. Well, not only did this show these chickens banding together to take down a bear dressed up as a human woman, so immediately I'm on board. Not only is that one of the highlights of this campaign, a huge highlight, huge I say, finally putting those bears in their places. No, but they're also doing something that I haven't seen before that I think is a really, really slick, could be really, really slick in terms of this little book for leveling up your character. So I think, and I'm going to check the rulebook obviously, but I think as you progress, your hero levels up and you just turn the page of the rulebook. So rather than having like a stack of cards that you have to manage and that like sits on the side, you have like a tiny little book for each character. And then depending upon what level you are, you just have the pages open and those are the two sides. And I just think having that all together will make for really quick setup, not annoying, like fiddling with cards, and could be really, really slick. So I'm quite excited about that. It worked for, setup for Frosthaven and rather Jaws of the Lion, where with the Spiral Bound book, why not have it just for players as well, in terms of not dealing with cards, but just flipping things. And that, like, the possibilities for leveling up, depending upon the players, could be really cool. You could have a tri-fold thing, where, like, you level up your different stats. I'm thinking of Massive Darkness 2. If Massive Darkness 2 had that instead of all the little cards, that'd be incredible. It'd be so incredible. You just go boom, and then you flick one over. You're on level 1 of each one, and then you go level 2 or whatever. I don't know. I just think that could be really cool and seamless. And I love when games think about that, because it feels like they're really taking into account the player experience and trying everything they can to make the player experience better. So way to go, Flock Together. Flock me. $79 US, so a bit expensive. It's 109 Canadian right now after conversion, and then it'll plus shipping will probably be like 130, 140. So that's not going to be good for me at all. But maybe that's why people use the cards, because it's cheaper. I get it. But if you like that extra setup, I don't know. I'm more willing to go for the price because it is so premium than I would for something else. Also, great chicken names. Attila the Hen, Wingston Churchill. Sorry, Wingston Coop Hill. Very good. Hans Gruber. Yeah, Ursula Bear. Now, I don't necessarily like Ursula Bear being included in this game, to be honest, because I don't think we should be celebrating serial kidnappers by name and giving them the fame that they so desperately crave. But it's a start in terms of making people know about her horrors. And if you meet an Ursula Bear at a bar and she's very interested in you, don't go home with her like 7 to 10 of my cousins did. All right, let's get to the rulebook. There is an epic tale telling you why you need to survive 1 year in the chicken coop, and I've bought in. You need to survive. You need to prove them wrong, or else it was all for naught, chickens. You're going to have 3 main Predator books, and then 1 secret Predator book boss that's going to pop out. Then you're going to have your own chicken book, like Annie Yoakley. Because the chicken has the eggs, the yolks. No, because Annie married a bull, and they were very happy together. And then he died a horrible death pulling a plow, and so she at least took his last name. They never got truly married. There was a whole stigma between bull and chickens, but their love story was beautiful, which we don't have time for right now. Oh, you don't just have to survive 1 year. That's a bad story then. No, you have to defeat all 4 predators. Each member of your team is alive. That's it. No one can die. It's not like a co-op where somebody can be sacrificed. Nobody can die. I like that. No elimination, no sitting on the sidelines while the rest of your team finishes the round. Each season lasts 7 days, so factually accurate. Well, at least in Canada, you have 7 days of spring, 7 days of summer, 7 days of fall, and the rest are winter. That's why it's so white behind me. I'm in the igloo. I'm in an igloo. There's weather conditions that you're going to have to deal with. Cool. Here we go. Your turn consists of 2 parts. Production. As a chick, you get free food, or you get eggs. Then the player takes 2 actions. Oh, here are the actions right here. Lay eggs, heal, brood, move, draw a card, attack, eat, and forage. And if you have any bonus cards or grub cards, we can play them throughout people's turns. And your location does matter. If there's a little coop symbol beside it, you have to be in the coop. If you're out, you need to be in the outside area. You can heal. You can revive a dead player. Okay. So you can die, and then they have to be revived, or else the game's over. There are the 5 different locations to coop, and then 1 where all the evil people are. And then you can attack. I want to see what attacking looks like, because otherwise it's just managing your stats and getting strong. Oh, so the predators also level up between spring and summer. And the boss isn't revealed until the last regular predator is dead. Cool. Okay, but how do you fight? Please give me an example of combat. Okay, fighting is just rolling dice, right? You roll against each other. You see if you hit. You see if the predator does something bad to you. It's just going to be rolling dice, a single dice, it seems. And they all have different attack conditions, and they're either resolved before an attack or etc. So the weather attack can happen, a predator effect can happen, and your own chicken abilities can happen. So you can roll to dodge, you can roll to deal the damage, etc., etc. Yeah, it seems okay. The asymmetry seems fine. You need to always manage your food. So if you like games where you have to manage your food consistently, it feels almost like a little like Dead of Winter if you weren't searching for things and you were just trying to punch snakes in the face. Maybe without a trader. Is that a good way of talking about it? Maybe not at all, because Dead of Winter has crossroads cards, and Dead of Winter has like other things. So not at all. Doesn't feel like Dead of Winter. That doesn't even take place in the winter. It takes place in spring, summer, and fall. The polar opposite of Dead of Winter. That's what I meant to say. How do you level up your character? Did I miss that part? Eating is how you level up your chicks. There we go. I skipped the eating because I was like, oh, it's just eat. You got to eat to live. No, you got to eat to level up. Each chicken has a different number of meals to reach their next stage. So you're balancing leveling yourself up versus dealing and attacking with the predators. Yeah, it seems fun. It hasn't blown me away as much as like the theme suggests. I think it would be fine. And it seems like you can die as much as you want as long as somebody revives you. The game ends while you're still being brooded, you lose the game. So that's a little less exciting that, well, maybe there could be carryover and switching up the different chicks and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Seems fun. But what's shipping like? US, $19 shipping. Yeah, so you're looking at $100 for this game. You're in the US. For Canada, $29. So $110, so $140-ish. What is it, $143? $150. I lied. It's not $150, right? Like, this is not a game that I would play over and over and over again, but I do think it looks quite cute. The production value looks clearly off the charts. So yeah, check it out. The finish is Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Let's check this one out. I don't know if this is going to be my jam or not, but I saw only €19, and I thought, well, for only €19, I could for sure check it out. This is the Under the Eagle, Onus, Simon Scarrow Sword. I really thought it was innovative of Simon Scarrow Sword to legally have their last name be an emoji. I just thought that was nice. An Onus expansion based on Simon Scarrow's books. The Conquest of Britannia with Roman Emperor Claudius, Vespasian, Macro, and Cato. I've never heard of this sort of stuff. It might be a war game, and I'm not that into that, but we'll see. Let's look. Onus! I guess the onus is on me to learn how to play this game. After the great success of the Onus system in its latest installment, Trajanus, comes the long-awaited expansion based on the popular novels by Simon Scarrow Sword, the Eagles of the Empire series. Cool. I mean, I don't know this system. I don't know these books. Let's see if it's got any interest to me. It's a war game system. Now we're moving on. That simulates historic battles. It allows up to 6 players and has a solitaire mode in the style of miniature games. So I think each one of these cards represents like a big troop of minis, right? So instead of pushing a bunch of minis on a map, you can push a card, which I would prefer. The cards show different units deployed on the battlefield, which will move and attack at range, melee, envelop, or adopt special formations. You get 10 character cards, and then each of them has a bunch of units. So it's a bunch of different troops and units for game rules and scenarios. Ooh, the scenario expansion will allow you to play beside infinite games of point battles from 6 to 9 scenarios, and just shows you how to deploy them. Here we go. How to play. I probably won't read a rulebook on this one, but I might. These are game phases into which the game turn is divided. The activation. Play action cards and apply their orders. With the active unit markers, you activate units. You want to move and do actions with them for the rest of the turn. That makes sense. I like that, because you put your active unit, you move it, you can't move it for the rest of the round. So that every unit gets activated, you do that in turn order. That's what I feel like a lot of standard war games do that. I feel like this might be a good intro into wargaming if you're looking for that sort of thing. Again, you have ranged attack, you have measurement movement, you have measuring to see where people can attack. Must exceed the dodge value with the attack roll, so you're rolling dice against each other. Read the rules. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll take a glance at least. 52 pages. Yeah, we're not reading the whole thing. Not tonight. That's not that bad, actually. Like, get your special maneuvers, you're charging. This is this section. I like this little index. It tells you what to expect. Ranged attack phase. Like, this just goes to the nitty-gritty. I don't really need to know that. Skirmishes phase, melee phase, flight phase, end of turn phase, and special formations. and then a bunch of modifiers and ways to play. Actually seems pretty simple. So it shows you all the different armies that are out there right now, and basically this is just adding in the armies from the books, if you're a fan of the books. Yeah, but I do like this. It shows the units. Each card is representing military formations of 80 to 100 soldiers. You've got their value for a points game. You've got their attack, their ranged attack, their defense, their morale, their health, their movement, and the different types of abilities that they can do. Oh, the unit value here is the points that each unit costs, and is used to select your armies at the start of the battle and to determine the amount of casualties suffered. I guess that's a relevant stat, because it's like, oh, 100 people died. Just casually. Just a casual 100 people no longer existing. Lost in time forever. You place your general in one of the units of your choice. The general is tied to that unit's destiny. If it's eliminated, the general dies. This actually looks pretty good. And then action cards divided into 2 sections, which is an order, and then the bottom section, which is an event. Orders can be used in activation, or events are being played. So dual-use cards, I really like that. I think this looks solid. I think, and also, well, how much is it? So it's 19 for the expansion, all in Eagle and Trainus. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I was hoping that the base game would be similar to that 19. The core game, Onus Trainus, and Under the Eagle is €70, $100 Canadian. I want to see if there's an add-on section. You can get a big old playmat. Yeah, that's fine. Pledge levels. Add-ons. What's the add-on? One copy of Onus is the full game for €50. This makes me less interested in it. Like, I was really excited about this potentially being an accessible war game for like a really cheap price. This puts it into sort of average price territory. And so for that, I'm less willing to take a risk on it. If it was like 30 or even 40, you know, I might be interested. 50, it starts getting, I'm like, it's not a good enough value for me to like take a risk on something that, a style that I'm not super huge on, especially when shipping is an additional €12. So it'd be $60 to just get the base game. €60, that's like 90 Canadian. Then that's getting into absurd territory, right? They snake it in with the €19, but that's just for this expansion. Dang. Oh, this was like, if this was 30, it was an automatic pick for you. That's what it was. It being 50, you gotta be a little bit more choosy. But if you're interested, that finishes Friday, October 13th at 8 a.m. Let's move along to Bone Wars over on GameFound by Game Brewer. Travel back to the 19th century to relive the Great Dinosaur Rush. Oh, that's a fun theme. 1 to 4 players take on the role of paleontologists that help out Edward Cope and Othniel Marsh and their discovery of dozens of new dinosaur species in what turned out one of the biggest rivalries in U.S. history. That's kind of exciting. Let's see what this is all about. Love the theme. Really love the theme. By the author of Oak inspires less confidence, because I heard Oak wasn't that good. But I haven't played Oak, to be fair. The person who told me that might just be full of it. I'm going to trust Wim Goosens to put out another hit. I think I'm going to put my trust in you, Wim. Monsieur Goosens, Madame Goosens, or Dr. Goosens. There you go. There's a non-binary title. Worker Displacement. Oh, multi-use cards. Ooh, I like that. 3 different editions. Never buy the standard edition because it'll always be cheaper at retail. Then we have the deluxe edition. Double-layered player board. Acrylic bone tokens. It's wild that so many games that are copying the title of Spicify expansions are coming out this week. Let's figure out how to play. Game of Bone Wars plays in 4 game rounds. Each round, player will play different types of cards to perform different actions. That will, hopefully, lead them to victory. Like any game, you're going to perform a bajillion different actions. And are those actions fun? I don't know, but you can dig for bones. You can discover new species of dinosaurs. Those sound fun. Establish base camps. Sounds less fun, but everybody needs a base camp, so I'll give it to them. Perform the dig site actions. So it seems like there's a bunch of different ones. Cool. Refresh the bones. Again, something Fabio will be happy, very happy to do for you in the newest Spicify expansion.
Fabio's Foibles.
Fabio's Foibles. A Spicify story. Then there's paleontologist cards as well. You can support either Marsh or Cope and publish or debunk academic papers. I like that. Debunk your rivals' papers by showing the world they have no idea what they're talking about. But this other paleontologist does. Here's the main conceit of what's different and what's interesting, and I hope it's fun. You'll have to choose to stay loyal to your original patron or switch loyalties at crucial times to hope to score more reputation points than your fellow paleontologists. Twice during the game, you'll score reputation points based on your loyalty to both paleontologists and their credibility. I do want to know all the details. You're going to send me right to Game Brewer and not to the rulebook, are you? Oh no, I think you're doing it. Good job. Okay, so you can choose your profession, but really what that is it's just a variable turn order with bonuses style of choosing who goes first, which I always love. What I am skeptical about, especially because it says there's a 2-player game, I'm skeptical that it says you can time out when you flip your allegiance, basically. And I wonder if everybody flips their allegiance at the same time when reputation is being tallied, who gets the most points, you know? Okay, and you can take multiple actions in a turn, but every action you take is going to cost you more money, kind of like Kalis. And then each card ability also might cost you money being scarce. There's team actions and like paleontologist actions. Team actions, they're all kind of the same. I don't really like this nomenclature really that much, because you'd think a team would like contribute towards the team that you're on, the team of whatever, big special bone boy. Yeah, that's I think what they're officially called in the rulebook. I'm pretty sure it's right there. Whichever big special bone boy you are supporting at that moment. And basically the difference between team and paleontologist is also that you have 2 different tokens. For each one, you have a paleontologist and you have a team. And so they move in different places. So if you look at the main board down here, these are like the different dig sites. And so your team is going to be running around the dig sites, and that's why you can put down little camps to allow you to dig at different dig sites and expand your reach over in this section. And your paleontologists move around up top and move from action to action. So that's also the difference between those 2 things, which I guess is good to make that distinction. Oh, I guess you're going to be getting loyalty, so you're probably going to score points based upon your loyalty. So if you're continually flip-flopping, you're probably not going to get as many points. That would make sense, and I hope that's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, depending upon your position on the loyalty track of your current patron, you gain the loyalty bonus, which is 1 loyalty and or money. Oh, but it doesn't chain. It doesn't like spiral, which I don't know. I guess I prefer when you get more and more stuff. I guess there's a hierarchy of stuff that you get. Okay, so you can only move up in loyalty on one thing. And so you get to score for both patrons. So if you go back and forth, right? Okay, cool. So I think like flipping back and forth determines what loyalty track you move up whenever you get loyalty points, but you're going to score for both sides, so you have to balance both sides. I like that. I like that a lot more than you only get to score one. I was worried that was going to be the case, and it isn't. And then there's a solo mode as well. This feels like a wait for retail, though. You know, I don't feel like you need the deluxe, because you never need the deluxe. What's the difference? What's the deluxe? Double layered player board, acrylic bone token, custom insert. This is when we look on what's in the box. Like, I don't think you need it. I don't think you need a lot of this stuff. That's nice to have the acrylic tokens, though. Yeah, you may want the acrylic tokens. That's fair. That's a nice add-on. And they got a good chart. I love a good chart. The items marked in bold green highlight the key differences between pledge levels. Look at that. So the key difference between the base one. Yeah, because deluxe edition, all in, it's the same thing, right? Shipping, if you pick it up at Essen Spiel or Game Brewer HQ, which is... like, why don't you tell us where it is? Am I blind? Pick up HQ Game Brewer. Why don't you tell us where it is? I mean, I know it's Poland, but... or maybe it's France. I don't know. It's somewhere in Europe. I do love each extra copy is free, though, up until a certain point, I'm sure. So US, €20 for shipping, but you can get a group buy. Canada, €22, 5 extra for shipping. Is this a $100 game? I don't know. It looks neat. It looks fun. The actions look like they'll chain together pretty nicely. I like the different species. I like the theme. But it doesn't rock my world. It hasn't quite rocked my world enough for me to be confident to take the plunge currently. But if that interests you, that finishes October 13th, Friday at 10 a.m. Let's move along to Defenders of the Wild, cooperative board game and rules light RPG. Gather a crew of animal defenders to resist the machines. Art by Andrew Nosley. Not Andrew Bosley. And not Andrew Bosley. Not this time. From the designer of Parks and the creator of Block by Block. Yeah, Block by Block looked okay. 2 new games of animals against machines. And a weird skunk or badger? It looks like a badger, but it could be a skunk doctor coming to you with the syringe. There's the cooperative board game and there's the standalone role-playing game. Cool. Read the rulebook. Look at that. Look at that. So close to the top of the page. Yes. Give it to me. Give it to me, you sweet animal critters. I want it all. I haven't been this excited by a furry since I met Scott Bakula. I didn't meet him. I can't say that I did. It's part of the NDA for our night that we had. Defenders of the Wild is a fully cooperative game. All players win or lose together and must cooperate to destroy the machine core by completing 2 objectives together. Each player must build all of their camps, and all factories built by the machine must be rewilded. So it's like the Blight in Spirit Island. No Blight here. There's a set up the board. It's going to be modular with a bunch of different tiles. There's going to be all these factories in the middle. They're going to be spewing out across the board. The evil machines are going to do something to you, which I'm going to find out right now. Cool. All players choose an active defender from their hand in silence. There's a part of no discussion, which I love. I love no talking around the game. I like us focused on the board game and no speaking to each other. It's nice, finally, I can get some peace and quiet while playing with my friends. Those rambunctious animals. Then you reveal them, and then you can have open discussion. Okay, cool. Then you'll take your actions, and then the machines will go. So regardless about the number of players, it's going to be person, machine, the way nature intended. Oh, you can also not reveal your hand or defender cards to other players, other than noting the defender's home habitats. So I guess it's like, hey, I got some council members. I got some mountain people in my hand. I like this. I like these rules being implemented that'll stop quarterbacking. It's like no quarterbacking in this game, which is great. Alpha players can, mega shut up about it. Oh, cool. If you happen to draw the same colored cards, you can team them up. You can get more action points. And the mechs are constantly rolling dice against you if you're doing actions next to them. That's going to be annoying, but fun. So what are the actions you can do on your turn? Well, you can move, which is not really interesting, so we're not going to talk about it. You can build a camp, which the exciting part here is that building camps is also how you draw more defenders into your hand. And you can only build a camp in your faction's preferred habitat type, which is pretty huge. And that's where like the individual puzzle's going to happen, especially when each board is modular. Yeah, and this is also interesting, like every time you build a camp, you have to get more support to build the next camp, and so it kind of cascades in that way. That's cool. Regroup is just relocating. Healing is simple. Clearing pollution. There's going to be pollution on the board, you got to clear it. That's how you get support. You can destroy mechs to get support. You can rewild a factory to get support as well. And then there's just information about how the mechs spread out, which, seems fine. Yeah, not bad. Pretty simple. $44 is, I think, a reasonable asking price for this one. 61 Canadian. Asymmetrical factions. Simple rule set, but like pandemic-y style. What's the shipping? Shipping costs $16 for the board game, so $60 total US to get it to your door. $62 US or like 80 Canadian to get it to your door. Yeah, this is like a $60 game. Not an 80, but 60. I mean, maybe 50, maybe 40. I don't know. It's not bad at all, though. Definitely not bad. If you like co-op, I think it looks neat. And that'll finish Friday, October 13th at 8 p.m. Moving along to Canopy Evergreen. Grow a bountiful forest in this beautiful standalone game of card drafting and set collection based in the Pacific Northwest. This looks cute enough. 20 minutes per player. I remember Canopy. I don't know if I covered it or not. Let's see if it was on Kickstarter and when. Leaf, Canopy. I remember Leaf. Leaf looked good. No, it was 2020. So before I started Crowdfunding Countdown. That makes sense. Good. I've heard of this, but I hadn't read through the rulebook. I'm glad my noggin isn't failing me in this particular instance, unlike every other instance ever. This one looks cute. Kind of looks like Morel's-ish in terms of there's going to be set collection of a bunch of different plants and stuff, and you could throw those plants away to get some different animals with abilities. A bit of a memory game in terms of adding cards to different piles. And then I want to see how this forest sort of thing works, because that's not very clear right now. And won't be clear until I get to the rulebook. Read the rulebook, halfway down the page. Okay, cool. So each time you look at a pile, you can either select it, add those cards to your forest, or return the pile face down, add an additional card from the Seasons deck. So you're searching for things to help get your set collection, but you're potentially building up the amount of cards for somebody else, so it's a push your luck aspect. I really like that. That's cool. And then players will score points by completing trees. At the end of each season, you'll score for sets of plants and weather you've collected. And the player with the tallest tree will gain a bonus. By growing a forest with mutualistic balance of plants, trees, and wildlife, you'll score more points. So everybody has their own player board? Is that G? No, 4 forest boards. Okay, everybody has their own forest board, so you're building up your forests on your forest board. Okay. Oh, and I guess the cards indicate the trees? Yeah, 34 trunk tokens. I wanted specific cards. How do you grow trees? That's what I want to know. Yeah, okay, cool. So the cards just have trees on them. So the cards represent different plants, wildlife, weather, and trees. So there's a root or a trunk. You can start or cap a tree. And then there's canopy to make your tree taller. Cool. I think this looks great. Artie thinks it's almost dinner time. And he's right. He's right. Yeah, really simple. How much are you? That's the question. $40 for the retail edition, so 55 Canadian, or the deluxe edition, which includes something or other. Custom-shaped punchboard rainforest map, some wildlife tokens, some wood ecosystem tokens, some deluxe food and point trackers. For the extra 15, you could probably skip it, honestly. What's shipping like? Zone 1, $10 for shipping. That's pretty good to the US. Zone 3 for me for retail, so 17. So we're looking at around 47, which is like 74, 73 Canadian. I prefer the $40 that it will be in retail and would wait until then. But yeah, definitely looks really solid. Doesn't need a deluxe version. Really, really nice, simple, and I think it'll play well. So that finishes Friday, October 13th at 8 p.m. Moving along, we've reached the apex predators of the week. It's Final Girl Series 3, all new content for the mega hit solitaire board game. Yeah, I would call it a mega hit. It's huge. Probably going to do pretty well in the upcoming Board Game Deathmatch recap that I have to film and edit, which is all about solo games. It's raised over $1 million US. You're not getting a 5 reasons you shouldn't back Final Girl because one already exists. And also, I was sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of all these games getting over $1 million. We're going to be covering another one that's gotten over $1 million that you also didn't get because, again, it's a reprint. But Final Girl is a really solid game. I'm going to take a look at the trailer to see the new stuff. But basically, you're going to get a core box, which will be $20. And then every additional season box will give you like a new monster of the week and a new little board and a couple characters to play with. So you can mix and match that across all the games. And that's how they keep pumping it out. Do you need 15 things to mix and match? Probably not. If you're new to Final Girl, just get 2 boxes. That's what you probably should do. But I know a lot of people who are a lot of fans who want all 15. And if you're a solo player, which I am not, I think people really, really enjoy this. Plus, Van Ryder said that they like my 5 reasons. So that gives them credit in my books. They're like, listen, this is a good video. And I said, you know what? I now always will love Final Girl. I mean, that video doesn't really tell you anything, but they don't really need to because people love this game. If you're new to Final Girl, I mean, like, you can go watch that 5 Reasons You Shouldn't Back. I kind of go through the rules. Basically, you're rolling checks, right? You have a bunch of different things that you can do. If you want to take down Razorface in Hellscape, you can run around the board, and then you can see if you run around the board. You can roll your dice and say, I'm walking from point A to point B. I hope I don't fail my walking. And then you can roll your dice and you say, oh, shoot, I failed my walking. I guess I'm going to sit here and pee my little pants or twist your ankle or whatever. The Slayer, aka something from Stranger Things font. The Tormentor. That's probably the scariest one. Anyone in a faceless mask chasing you with a drill. Yeah, I would not survive. The Eyeless. So this is from John Krasinski, Emily Blunt. Don't Say a Sound. What's that movie called? A Quiet Place. That's what it is. Renee got it. She's smarter than me. That's why Renee is the final girl. No, Renee would not be the final girl. Renee would be the first victim.
I'd be the one that trips on her shoelace.
Yeah. Well, then you might be the final girl. Renee's final girl would not succeed any walking rolls whatsoever. Well, you'd be the one to trip on her shoelace.
I can walk, though.
Yeah, no, that's how you trip on your shoelace, walking from point A to point B.
What's a final girl?
It's the last person alive in
like a movie?
in a horror movie.
Oh yeah, the only reason I would be the last person alive, but I would have ended up caught like in the rubble in the first scene.
Yeah.
And then I just come out of the dust at the end and everyone else is dead, but I made it.
Nice.
Because I had bodies on top of me that hit me.
Camouflage. That's how you do it. Yeah. But they do have a Krampus here, so North Pole Nightmare special access. It's a special feature. Wow, they're going to try to deliver this to you this year. And if you don't complete the Pledge Manager, the specific one, you don't get it. It's just for fun because it's a Christmas horror one. Backers to the a la carte level and higher are eligible for this offer. However, only receiving standard stretch gold will be eligible for the price breaks down below. So you can get it for 30 MSRP, or you can get it for cheaper, which is I think now at $10, or it could be free. That's a really fun little tidbit, little update that they're throwing in there. That they're just like, yeah, we're producing this. It's going to be at retail too, so you don't have to worry about it. But you can get it for free if you're getting everything basically, or for $10. And then you probably have to pay for the shipping too. So you probably should just wait till retail, realistically. But it's still fun. I still appreciate it. What's shipping at? A la carte, $15. Series 3, $19 to the US, $29 to Canada. So if you're getting the 5 feature films, which I don't think you should do, it would be about $150 Canadian. That's a lot. That's a lot for a solo game. Now you're getting 5 different modules. You're basically getting 5 different expansions, but you really don't need it. You just need your core box, and you need one other thing to see if you like the system, then slowly add them in. Don't go crazy here. But if you're a solo gamer, I've heard nothing but good things about Final Girl. Worth checking out, but you don't need to check out on this Kickstarter because they have 2 series in existence. There are options available in terms of being able to get it. However, if you love it, and you know you're going to want everything, you get a slight discount here. So there you go. That finishes Friday, October 13th at 10 p.m. Moving along to another one that's raised over $1 million. In fact, it's raised, oh no, maybe $2 million, almost $2 million. This is Deep Rock Galactic, Space Rig and Biome expansions. Play assignments and new missions with the Space Rig expansion and add new biomes and creatures with the Biome expansion. Deep Rock Galactic is based off the video game Deep Rock Galactic, which is, according to Zach, a very fun game. So I trust Zach implicitly. And also, Deep Rock Galactic is like supposed to be known as like one of the friendliest online gaming communities. You know, some gaming communities are really toxic, but they're supposed to be super friendly. This is also the only 5 Reasons You Shouldn't Back video, my only video that's gotten like 50% dislikes, because the people who like Deep Rock Galactic were like, what? You're saying anything about Deep Rock Galactic? And they thought I was talking about the board game because they clearly didn't watch literally the first 15 seconds of the video, and just like gave me a whole bunch of thumbs down on that one, which I thought was very funny. And yeah, definitely a lot of really supportive environment over there. Non-toxic gamers for sure. However, Deep Rock Galactic was also, when I ranked it of the year that it came out, because I rank all the $1 million campaigns about what I'm the most interested in, Deep Rock Galactic was like second. I think it looks really kind of cool, and I still agree with that assessment. Do I think you need to get this and the expansions? Certainly not. Could you contemplate getting this if you're a huge Zombicide fan, but you wanted something like a little bit different? I feel like this is one of those games, right? That sort of style of game. I'm going to check out the expansions for a little bit because I have like over the past week or so, but I'm just going to make sure I look at them now, see what they're adding to the table. Guaranteed you don't have to get them. And again, probably shouldn't unless you really, really love the game. Expansions are weird. Expansions push and prey, like not prey, but like they prey upon your love of the game. And they, in order to sell themselves, they need to have people who have really entrenched themselves in the game and loved it. And so that pool is naturally going to be smaller than the people who own the game, right? Is the pool of people who should be getting expansions. And yet, I know this Kickstarter philosophy out there is you need everything all the time, everything everywhere all at once. And I don't think that's ever beneficial. It just takes up more room on your shelf for things that you're not going to play because you're not going to really incorporate them. So we'll see what this one does. But for double the price, why? Just why? Yeah, I mean, like if you're a huge fan of Deep Rock Galactic, I think you're going to get this and probably enjoy it, to be fair. Because it's basically adding in all the different terrains, right? There's now a glacier area, and there's now a toxic waste area, and that all adds all different little tweaks to the gameplay, which is cool. And then you can get escort missions, which are everybody's favorite missions to do in a video game. So why would you not want to do that in a board game, right? Who doesn't love an escort mission? Just me? Processing, where you get to pump stuff out of refineries and build little pipes across the map. That does seem fun. All of this stuff seems fun because all this stuff was already seeming fun. Are you laughing at me?
oh, this stuff seems fun because it was already seeming fun.
Well, yeah, just because something seems fun, like, it's a good game. The expansions look equally to be good, but it's not a game for everybody. I thought at first that the biome wouldn't be the value pick, but I actually think the biome would be over the space brig so that you don't have to friggin' escort everybody again. However, with all the minis, it's a lot of money. But it's about the same as, like, a Zombicide. A little bit more. 133 for that base game. Definitely an okay alternative. I think it looks cool. I'd like to try it at some point, but I have enough of those in my collection. I do. It doesn't necessarily thrill me to the extent of spending all that money. I'm almost maxed out. I am maxed out in my collection. I have to do another purge. I have too many games. And so it really takes a super, super high bar in order for me to pull the trigger. And would definitely try it down the line. But I personally don't think I would spend my money on it right now. Who I would advise it for would be those who are giant fans of Zombicide and love dice chucking, and the actions that you can do in Deep Rock Galactic seem fun, for sure. Maybe feel like pick up and deliver too, because you're going out to the mines and you're mining stuff and you're running back to base. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. That finishes Monday, October 16th at 12:03 p.m. And finally, our last one this week, Shattered Isles. This is the expansion to Beast, the official expansion for the critically acclaimed hidden movement game, Beast. And I have Beast, and I haven't played it yet, and I'm very apologetic for that, because I wanted to play it. If I'd been home more over the last 5 months, I would have played it. But I've heard nothing but good things about Beast. If you like hidden movement, I think the base is worth checking out. I'm going to see what this expansion is pushing forward to bring. But again, it's another expansion. You don't have to jump in. If you're interested in Beast, you don't have to get both things. I know you'd save on the shipping, but you wouldn't save on the shelf space. And that might even be more important. And you don't even know if you like it yet, because the people who I heard it from, their opinions are probably garbage, right? Anyway, let's check it out. All right, so there's two expansions here, Shattered Isles and The Great Hunt. That video was mostly just about Shattered Isles. And Shattered Isles honestly looks like my favorite type of expansion. It seems like it adds more of what you would like in Beast. It adds more beasts, it has more hunters with different asymmetrical powers, and it adds an additional map that they claim is going to be easier to stumble across each other, right? Beast sits in at 65 euros. The expansion is at 45 euros. You can get both 100 euros, 99 euros. So only an additional 35, 34 euros to add in all that extra stuff. I get it, but I don't think you should. But I get it. I do get it. 6 new characters. Well, that's not quite true. I mean, it's 3 new hunters and then 3 new beasts, right? I guess because everybody gets to play all the characters, though, it kind of makes sense. They all look pretty cool, though. I love the art style in this. 2 new maps. Oh, okay. I thought you played on the lower Shattered Isle and the higher Shattered Isle at the same time, but you don't. There's 2 new maps, so that's cool. I like that. And then the Great Hunt gives you a new hunter, a double-sided beast. Ooh. But it's more a little story-driven mini campaign, it looks like, where the Feathered King is somebody who you're going to face. That doesn't seem that exciting to me because, again, I have enough campaigns and so do you. Now, the base game is saying it's got a bigger and more roomier insert for everyone's pleasure. So that's something Fabio, I think, will be interested in adding into Fabio's Friskies, the 3rd Spicify expansion. And you get 6 beasts in that main game, though, and 6 hunters as well. So you get a 50% bump in content if you're going to get this stretch goal. Not the stretch goal, this expansion. See what shipping is, if it'll load. Shipping to the EU, 13 euro or 17 for a combo, 14 euro for the US, 23 to get to Canada. So 14 euro. So if you're looking at Beast, you're looking at 79, which is like 80 bucks. And honestly, the production quality, because I have the box and I've looked in it and unboxed it and done that sort of stuff, the production quality is potentially worth 80 bucks. Get to Canada, it's like 120 Canadian for that main game. I don't know. You're going to have to wait for my review, which I definitely will do a review on it, and I'll try to push that out soon-ish. And I'd like to maybe play this and do a juxtaposition with The City of the Great Machine, because I really enjoyed that, as also it being a hidden movement game, and I don't know which one you should get. So let me play that. You can like pledge. You just cool your jets right now. I'll figure something out, and I'll get to it. But if you're interested in ignoring me completely, which, honestly, you should be, That finishes at 2 p.m. on the 16th. That's next Tuesday, presumably. Or my math is very wrong, and this should have been included in a different episode. Doesn't matter. Just kidding, that's Monday. Yeah, my math is wrong. That's when it finishes, so go out and buy it. Just do it. I have to adjust the camera a little bit so you don't see Renee. Because you're never gonna see Renee. Anyway, every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you, and this week is no different. Pick for me, well, I mean, we just talked about it, so might as well go back to it. The pick for me is gonna be Beast. Pick for me is Beast because I own it, and I'm excited to play it. I've heard really good things about it. Yeah, because I own it, and I think it looks cool, and I'm excited to try it out. So obviously that's my pick for me. I don't know where I was. Artie, and just Artie, is being annoying. So I was expecting that to get a reaction. It did, but not the one I was hoping for. Yeah, looks good. Deep Rock Galactic could be a pick for me, but it's Beast, or more specifically, Boost. So yeah, that's my pick for me, and my pick for you. Definitely, I was worried because I was going through a bunch, and I was like, nothing's really that good enough to do it. But I think my pick for you, ignoring the bear on the front cover, is going to be Canopy Evergreen. I think this looks slick, simple. I think the flow will be nice, and yeah, I think it's an okay price as well. So that'll be my pick for you, but also I think like that's more of a retail pick, but just something to flag for down the line. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I need to go to bed. Well, I need to edit this and then go to bed. What are you interested in this week? Are you dipping your pockets into any of the $1 million campaigns? Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you're excited about, because you know what? I like hearing from you. And while you're down there, before you get a tapping, why don't you gently graze the like button? Just do it. Give yourself a thumbs up, because you're having a great day. Anyway, I hope you have a great day.
At least that way we'll be able to eat more than potatoes.
Yeah, like Renee said, if we don't get over 300 likes, I don't even know if any video of it. Yeah, okay. My insert one has like 1,000 likes. That's kind of cool. This is one of my favorite videos. If we don't get 300 likes, Renee doesn't get anything other than potatoes for supper. You did this.
I hate potatoes.
And she hates potatoes. Anyway, my name is Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I have a whole wheelbarrow filled with potatoes just ready for dinner that, hopefully, with your help, I won't have to use. See ya.
Honestly, you talk about all the board games I hate potatoes more than any board game.
That's true. Renee says I talk about all the board games she hates. She hates potatoes more than any board game. So give a thumbs up to Renee. I mean, you won't. I guarantee we're going to see in the comments a bunch of people saying how much they enjoy potatoes.
There's a lot of board games that I like. There's barely any potatoes that I like.
French fries.
Barely. I don't really like that many French fries, and I only like them with ketchup. Equal parts ketchup to potato ratio.
There you go. We're both not doing well, probably because of this all potato diet. So please help us.
Actually, that's one of the only diets that will sustain you.
That's true. Leave it to the Irish. Anyway, this outro is long enough. Goodbye. See you later. Have a wonderful potato. I mean day.